Hey, what's up, guys? Shane here with Vince the Anomaly, and we were just talking off camera about the 10-point must system and how to win in the judge's eyes, right? If a fight goes to decision, how do you, if you didn't win by knockout or by TKO, how can you impress the judges enough so that you're up on the scorecards?
Yeah, especially in those like razor close fights, when a round is super, super close, the judge is usually just going to pick one of the fighters. So there are some tactics to use to kind of make it at least seem that you won that whole round just unanimously.
Yes.
So obviously, I mean, for the first one, when I think about this is, the judges are going to remember what just happened.
Right, the last 15, 30, 10 seconds of a fight.
Exactly. Like, let's say we come out and Shane pieced me up for the first minute, but then it got kind of even for most of the rest of the round. We were both dishing it out.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say the last minute, I just put it on Shane. Even though over the course of that whole round, it's more of an even round, they're going to remember, oh, this guy finished strong the last minute, so I think he's winning. So
Right.
I'm going to give the round to him.
Right.
So, I mean, one tactic we can use for that, too, especially in, like, MMA, is if it's a close striking battle and you see that this round can go either way or this whole fight can go either way, if it's the last, 10 seconds of the round, I hear that ding, ding, ding go,
Yeah.
maybe I shoot him for a takedown. Because we've been striking the whole time. This guy probably doesn't even expect me to shoot for a takedown.
Yep.
So we're standing up high, we're both swinging, and then I hear that bell, and then immediately I drop, and I get my takedown, and boom. Even if I don't really hit him, or don't go for any submissions or anything like that, there's not much time, but the judge is going to see that and be like, oh, this guy got the takedown, he definitely won that round.
And the other thing is you're going to be the first one to stand up after the bell rings.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to roll over and get up.
Yeah, so I'm standing up, my
Right.
hands are up, I just won the fight.
Right, exactly. Even if it is the first round, those cues like hands up.
Uh-huh.
I remember at the end of every round, my coaches would always say that, hands up, hands
Yep.
up, just so the judges are looking. Maybe they're unsure too. They're like, who am I gonna pick here? If it's like amateurs or something like that, I like the guy that's got his hands up. Looks like
Yeah.
he could fight another 5 rounds.
Well, and speaking about like looking like he can fight another 5 rounds, if you're looking more fresh, if you're looking like you're being more active, even if you're not doing anything, like let's say we're both exhausted,
Right.
but if Shane's just plodding forward like this and I'm like kind of bouncing around, it looks like I still have something here.
Yeah.
So the judge may see it like, oh, close round, but that guy looks exhausted. This guy's bouncing around, so he has to be winning the fight, right? So I'm gonna give him that round.
Right.
So there are a lot of things
Yeah,
like
so-
that, even like with blood and stuff too. Like if I
Mhm.
cut you in a close round and you're the one that's bloody, even though I may have not damaged you as much as you damaged me,
Exactly.
sometimes the judges still see that blood like, oh,
Damage done.
yeah, damage
Right.
done.
And I don't know if they actually are supposed to judge it based on that. Is it damage done? Maybe if it's like a low kick and they're limping, like that's
Yeah.
one thing. But if it's a cut, if it's one strike that caused a cut, I wonder. I'm sure either way, it's gonna leave some sort of impression on the judge's mind.
Yeah, I think psychologically,
Mhm.
just as a human, I see this dude that's all bloodied up, and this other guy, and I thought the round was close, but there's blood all over this
Right.
guy, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I guess he's winning.
Right, right. Another thing in Muay Thai, it's all about structure too. Like in traditional Muay Thai rules, if let's say you were to throw a body kick, if I block it and I fall out here, or even if I high check block, but I fall out of position, they're gonna count that as a kick that landed because it broke my structure, it broke my posture, my balance was off. You moved me, as opposed to let's say like I do block it with a 3-point block, but I'm right here and I get the better of the exchange.
Yeah.
That's what the judges are gonna remember.
Yeah.
So you kept your structure, you blocked it, and he wasn't able to move you in any way. You were there standing your ground and able to counter
And
is
phase.
what's most important.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing in MMA. If you're throwing combinations at each other, my coach Adam Lerner, A4 Boxing, he tells me all the time, finish last.
Yeah, yeah.
So if this guy, let's say Shane throws a 1-2-3 on me, 1-2-3, bop, bop, and I just finish with a 1-2, maybe I don't even connect really.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't connect really, but I fire at the end of it. The referee the judge really just sees an exchange happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
even if you did hit me 1-2-3 and I go like this and I just hit your hands, it's still like, I don't know, maybe he landed, maybe
Yeah.
it's an exchange, like it's even.
You listen to commentary too, they'll be like, oh, Jim landed the right hand, and you go back and watch the replay and the right hand missed completely. It could have been them rolling with the punch, but it's just from the different angles, because judges are sitting in different spots, they may not be able to see, there may be a pillar in the way, so that's a great one. And Coach Kirian at CSA always talks about be first, be last, be gone. For that reason, like you're the first to start the exchange, you're the last in the exchange, and then when they throw, make them miss completely.
Yeah, I
And
like
that's what the judge is going to see, that you won the exchange.
I like
ultimately.
that. Yeah, I mean the same thing you're talking about. Coaches from the outside, they can play a role in it as well.
Yes.
you can explain the Muay Thai one you're talking to me about, but my coaches too. Every time
Yeah.
I throw a punch and it looks like it landed or maybe it didn't land, it's like, hey, nice.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And the judges, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, it did land.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. if you've ever been to Thailand or watched like a traditional Muay Thai fight, you can hear the crowd because mostly they're betting on fighters. So
Yeah.
every time their fighter lands a shot or it looks like they land a shot, they're oi, right? Because they want the judges to hear that, and they're going to start to recognize the person throws his kick, and it's like you're creating a sound effect for them. Oi, oi, when it's quiet if the other guy's landing the shot. So that's what the judges are going to recognize. Another thing is ring control, and I know that judges definitely based the scoring on that, but ring control can be, moving forward. Vince had a great display of ring control in his last fight where he was stalking his opponent. His opponent was on the back pedal, and you were just, getting into the cage. You were landing that right hand, the calf kicks.
Just slipping and ripping.
Slipping and ripping, baby. But the one thing to keep in mind is just because I'm moving forward doesn't mean I'm necessarily controlling the ring. Because if I'm walking forward stupid with my hands down and I'm just getting popped, like Rocky does in the first Rocky against Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
Vince has the better ring control. Because he's moving backwards, yes, but he's dictating the range, he's dictating the pace, so he's going to be keeping me at the end of his punches. And another thing too is if I'm tall or if I'm just focused on the hands and I throw this big punch but you go underneath, boom, then I got takedown, right? And then that looks really good in the judge's eyes for you because even if I was winning, you just got the takedown. You're in the top position.
Yeah, and even if you are, let's say you're on the ground, maybe the whole round, so it's just a boring grapple fest. Everyone's booing you. I mean, I like to watch grappling, but the common MMA guys when they're watching and they're booing, then it's no fun for anyone. So the judge is like, man, someone needs to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Even if they know what's going on here, and I can't, let's say I can't get around Shane's guard and it's been like a couple minutes down here, I hear that last 10-second bell come up, I'm going to immediately pull this elbow in, find a way to posture, and I'm just going to start raining strikes for 10 seconds.
Right.
Even if I wouldn't do that in a normal situation, wherever you are, even if you're from the bottom.
That's what I was going to say. Even if I'm down here on the bottom and Vince isn't being very active, he's just trying to get a good position, then I'm just going to start ripping elbows. Of course, you got to be careful of the 12-6 elbow, but I can hammer fist, I can elbow, I can punch from this position just to show that I'm active, because that's what the judges are going to see. Like, if this fight, if it's the end of the 5th round, they want to know if there was a 6th round, who would win that fight? Who shows that they have more energy, more dominance?
I think Pride rules too. Didn't they used to have it scored in a way where it was like the person who started to take over more at the end of the fight technically wins? Wasn't it something different like that?
Like changing the tides or something.
Yeah,
it's interesting, man. All right, guys. So there you go. There's ways to win during the fight. There's ways where external factors like your coaching, the crowd can really affect what the judges actually see. The last 10 seconds, last 15 seconds of a round is what the judges are going to probably remember most. So make sure that you're active, make sure that you're dominating, but be smart in those times because you don't want to get caught. We just saw Yair Rodriguez catch Korean Zombie with some crazy upside down elbow with 1 second left in the 5th round. So crazy things can happen. You always want to be smart and have strategy going into it. Until next time, I'm Shane.
I'm Vince.
Fight tips for the underdogs.